Hello classmates and teacher, my name is Julia Flores and I'm going to share with you my English learning experience. I break through that really made me feel that I was making progress and that the effort was worth it. When I first started learning English, everything seemed complicated. I could understand some words, but forming sentences and speaking with confidence was another level. I felt like I was progressing very slowly and sometimes I got frustrated. Learning a new language is a journey full of challenges, frustrations, and most of all, moments of satisfaction. And my process with English was no exception. There were many times when I felt that I was not making any progress, that no matter how much I started my practice, I was always coming up against the same barrier. The insecurity of speaking, yes. But there was a day, a specific moment, when everything changed and I knew I had made a hop leap. Since I started learning English, I have struggled to understand the grammar, expand vocabulary, and improve my pronunciation. I spent hours watching movies with subtitles, repeating phrases, writing in English, and trying to listen to podcasts. But despite all my efforts, when it came time to speak to some in English, I froze. I knew what to say in my head, but the words didn't come naturally. I was sitting alone in a cafe when a person approached me and asked me something in English. Instead of panicking, I just answered that, and the amazing thing was that the conversation continued. I realized that I wasn't translating in my head. I wasn't thinking about grammar rules or whether my pronunciation was perfect. I was just communicating. That moment was a before and after in my learning, because I had started to become an expert in English, but because I understood that I had everything I need to speak and be understood. Thank you. Bye bye.